And Romeo says good morning. Hey everybody, it's me, Nina, and it is a beautiful morning today. Chickens are loving it. Sun shining. It's nice and cool. Oh, it's just a perfect morning. Got a lot of rain last night, and it looks like the garden enjoyed that too. I'm telling you, looks like it grows just constantly. Steve's getting in there and giving the chickens their treats for the day. Hey, I wanted to tell you guys too, if once you hear Romeo, you sometimes, like on yesterday's video, but anyway, there's a small young rooster that our neighbor has that lives down below us, and it's just starting to crow. So I noticed in yesterday's video that as I was editing it, I could hear that little rooster crow after Romeo crowed. It was so cute. Look at where Willow's at. Whoops, she just got down. She'd been standing in there waiting. Hey, sissy. Well. I wanted you to hear the little rooster. As soon as I put the camera on, it stopped. I don't know if it's in with those. Oh, there it goes. Did you hear it? Well, we lost a chicken last night. And Steve's going to take it down into the lower lots down below and bury it down there. That makes two. We lost one last month and one this month. And they were both the Rhode Island Reds. And we've had those for 2 years. So they're still really young, but you just never know. They look healthy, but for some reason they just pass away. You know, the hardware cloth that we used to put all over the run for the chickens, and we also put it on the windows and all around the bottom of the whole coop to keep things from digging up and going underneath there. Well, we're going to also do that to this shed because you guys know, of course, the last little shed that we had, a groundhog had taken up residency underneath of it. So Steve was talking about putting that hardware cloth, actually nailing it around, all the way around the bottom of the shed, and then taking it out from here about a foot or so. And that's how we did over here, and the grass and stuff just filled in around it, and you know, you can't hardly even see it anymore. But that way, if something tried to dig in, most of the time they're going to dig in right where they think they can get in at, where they see space. But if you bring it out about a foot or a foot and a half, they're going to go on top of it and try to dig in, and they won't be able to. I've never seen one come out like this far to dig up underneath something. So yeah, I told them that would be a great idea. Where'd you go? Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, there's all kinds of dew on the grass. Your little paws are all wet. Just came around to the side in front of the house, and my hollyhocks are, let me get out of the way here. A couple of my hollyhocks have bloomed. That is a real pale, like a pink peach color. And this one, if I can get it on, there we go, is a real bright pink. So that one's about ready to open up. So pretty. I've always loved sweet peas. Such a pretty flower. Okay, Steve's got the little boards there on the side and the long 2x4. And now he's putting brackets like that one. And he'll put them all along these studs so that he can put 2x4s and attach them to that 2x4 to make a loft. I think he's wanting to put some of his Christmas decorations up in the loft part.
Anything I can fit up there.
Oh.
The whole house, if I can fit it up there.
Steve's got the first part of the plywood up there. He's got that little piece there to lay on top of the 2x4s. So it's got this little piece here, and then this piece here.
With you, I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way that you love me today. Let's run up through the fields where the sun shines and heals. With you, I wanna stay with you. It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one.
I would sit out here out in the yard for a little bit. I've got Willow tied up over there, and she chased, when we came out, she chased a squirrel and a cat. I think she's still after one of them, but she didn't get them. Didn't get close to either one of them. Steve and I took a ride. We went down to a lake, and it's one of my favorite places that is pretty close to us that we can go. We used to go and have picnics there a lot, and we haven't done that for a long time. And I told him today, I said, oh man, we should have brought a picnic with us. It's just so beautiful and relaxing. We used to take our son there when he was just a little boy and take him fishing, and it's just one of my favorite places to be. Willow, come here, honey. She's over there snorting about something. Yeah, I thought, I've got my little chair. I needed to be a little bit in the sunshine, and you can see all the gray hair shining, I bet. But talking about gray hair, Mom came up today and I did her hair for her. She can do it herself, but she likes for me to pamper her and do her hair for her. So I took care of it, and hopefully it turned out good. She left and it was still wet, so I didn't get to see if the color, turned out good or not. Her hair was naturally always really, really dark, and so she's tried to lighten up along with getting some gray. She still does not have a lot of gray hair, and she'll be 80 in August. So it's funny how some families or some people gray really, really early, and other ones takes a long, long time. I started letting my hair grow out, I think 2 years ago, and stopped putting any type of hair dye or anything on it, and I'm glad that I did. It got to be, not only does it get to be expensive, but it's just a hassle, And when you have problems like with fibromyalgia and problems with your health, it's just a time that, you know, I could be worrying about something else. And I kind of, honestly, I kind of like gray hair, especially when it comes in silver. Just trying to wait a little bit till the wind calmed down. I'm telling you, it's been a gorgeous day today. Steve went out and bought some of the weed killer for the driveway, and he's already done part of it once this year, but we ran out, so he went and got some more today. And I was gonna do it, but my hands are hurting, and I don't, if it was a continuous nozzle that you could just pump and, you know, it would stay spraying, that would be one thing. But it comes in those containers where you have to pump it yourself, and that really bothers my hands, so I'm not going to do it. He said he'd take care of it tomorrow, so I'm going to let him do it tomorrow. Now I was thinking earlier today, it's okay. I was thinking earlier today about my grandparents, my dad's mom and dad, and as rough as they had it. I don't think she's going to let me video. I had to move up here closer to Miss Willow. She want Mama to hold her. But I was just going to tell you a story about my dad's mom and dad, and how rough that they had it. They lived in Kentucky, and when Dad was born, and Dad had 3 brothers. They were all, you know, real close in age together, and Dad remembered when he was just a little boy, you know, 5, 6 years old. He knew how to shoot a gun. He knew how to hunt, and his dad, my grandpa, used to be a bootlegger, and Grandpa ended up joining church and turned his life over to the Lord, and he went out and disposed of all of the moonshine, and he would tease and say that he had some buried down in Kentucky. Who knows? We don't know if he did or not, but nobody ever found it. And but Grandma took care of the boys, because Grandpa was always out, you know, up to no good. And my grandma had it rough when she was little too. Her mom died when she was just a young girl. And you know, the sad part is, as we all know, as we get older, there's questions and there's things that we wish that we would have asked our relatives before they passed away. And you know, now it's too late. You know, they're gone and not around. You can't ask them those questions anymore. But I would have loved to have sat down with Grandma and heard exactly what happened to her mom. Her dad was a traveling preacher, and by traveling in those days meant that he was a horseback rider. He rode his horse to all kinds of church camps and was a preacher. And he ended up remarrying when Grandma was little, and I don't know what happened, but Grandma ended up staying with relatives all the time. And she had a really, really hard and rough life. And I just have to say, my grandma, my dad's mom, was the sweetest, kindest woman that you could ever want to meet. And she had such love. I think by her living such a hard, rough life growing up, all of her life, she just took everything as a blessing. And she would, you know, they would work in the garden, and Grandma canned up until she couldn't can anymore. I think mosquitoes are starting to bite. And she was the one that got me into learning and liking how to crochet. And because of her, I wanted to learn how to can. And I guess I thought so much of my grandma. And you know, she died on their 55th wedding anniversary. She died of a heart attack, and they could not help her quick enough. But that whole side of the family, I don't know if I've told you, but my dad and all 3 of his brothers had heart problems, and all of them, except I'm not sure what actually took the life of my oldest uncle, but he had heart problems too. But the other 3, including my dad, all passed away from heart failure, and also my grandma and grandpa, and I don't know who all else in that family, but and when I had my heart attack and open heart surgery. So there's things that run in the family, but I loved my grandma. My grandma, like I said, was so kind. And, you know, she didn't have money. She was, as they said, poorer than a church mouse, you know. She didn't have hardly anything. And my mom would help take care of them. And she loved her. And that was her mother-in-law. And that really says a lot. But Mom would take care of their laundry and do their laundry for them and help my grandma out. Grandma had a bad heart for a long time, so she was really weak a lot and really sickly. And as you guys know, my mom always loved to clean and take care of people, so that's what she did, and it was really good of Mom to do that. But I guess the reason that I thought of all that stuff today is, you know, life is beautiful. Life can be short. Some of us, you know, Grandma was blessed to be an elderly lady. I don't know exactly how old she was. I don't remember. But she enjoyed life, and she was good to people, and I guess she made her life count. And that's what I'm striving to do, to be good to people and to make my life count. And I've been blessed because, you know, lots of people don't even make it to my age. I'm 57. So I have been very, very blessed. And even with a rotten puppy dog. Yes, her is spoiled rotten. Yes, her is. Spoiled rotten. So anyway, I don't know if you guys enjoy hearing my little stories. Sometimes I just like to sit out and reminisce and talk about, you know, the good old days. I remember going down in Grandma had you got a burr. Oh, I'm going to have to cut that out. Yeah, I mean, it's a big burr right on her inner leg. Can't get the rest of it. But anyway, Grandma and Grandpa lived in a little tiny shotgun house. And I don't know if you've ever heard of those or seen one, but it's made to where they're very narrow and they're long. This one wasn't, like I said, it was very tiny. You walked into, usually a shotgun house means that they're just a straight shot. You could open up the front door and shoot all the way out through the back door. And that's how they got the name from them. But Grandma and Grandpa you walked into the living room, and then the next room that you came to was supposed to have been like a dining room, but they changed it into a bedroom. And then the kitchen was in the back of the house. Now, later on through years, there was a room right off of the dining room that was a bedroom, but oh my goodness, I've never seen a room that tiny. Now, our bedroom is very small in our house, but Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom was even smaller. It wouldn't even fit a full-size bed. And so what they did is they ended up cutting that down in half and actually making a bathroom because they only had an outside toilet all the time that they lived there, and even when I was a young girl. So that was great when Grandma and Grandpa was able to have a tub and a toilet and a sink, and it was a tiny little bathroom, but you know, she thought she was just blessed. And I think that that's what made her so special, is because she looked at things, you know, really, we are all blessed. If we have things that we enjoy, if we have, Willow, if we have family or friends or just enjoy being alone, I guess. She's got that briar on my pants. But yeah, but that bedroom after that was big enough for a twin-size bed, and that was it. You better hush. So yeah, it was a tiny little shotgun house, and it wasn't too long. I'm just trying to think. Grandma was gone, I think, when they ended up having to build a new porch on. Dad went down and built a new porch. And somebody has a picture of Grandpa, my dad's dad, painting. He was painting the porch, so yeah. Oh, what good memories. Grandpa he tried to be grouchy, and he would, oh my gosh, they had a apple tree in their front yard. They had the smallest little yard, and they lived on a hill. And so us kids didn't have very much things to do when we were visiting over there, because there wasn't any room to play in the house, and there wasn't hardly any room outside to play. But they had an apple tree out front, and if we got near, 10 feet near that tree, Grandpa would be yelling at us to stay away from that apple tree. He didn't want us breaking the limbs by climbing it, and when the fruit came on, he definitely didn't want us picking it. But oh, I'll never forget it. He tried to play like he was mean, but you know, we knew that he loved us, and he just had rules, and he expected them to be obeyed. But I was going to tell you about what I remember is going down into Grandma's cellar, because even though it was a tiny little shotgun house, she had an old dirt cellar, and the shelves were made up against the dirt wall, and she kept all of her canning stuff on there. And I remember being afraid to go down there. If you know, like if we were all over there for dinner, she'd want to fix us dinner. And when I was little, and she would say, you know, Nina Gale, would you go down the cellar and get me, you know, whatever she needed? And I'd be scared to death. So when she came and she went with me, and I helped carry the stuff, I was, you know, I wasn't afraid then because she was there. But yeah, to me it was dark and wet and cold. You know, it was kind of cold, and oh, I just never forget those memories. I'm so thankful. You know, I've been so blessed. I've never been blessed financially. You know, none of our family have ever been, you know, super rich or anything. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't trade my life with anybody, because I've had the best grandparents and the best mom and dad, and all of my siblings. I get along with all of my siblings and love them all so much. I don't get to see my brothers. I really don't get to see my sisters that much, but we do ride each other a lot. But yeah, and my husband, you know, Steve and I are, you know, we've been married all these years, and now I feel like he's my best friend. Our son, and I guess the only thing that, well, of course, and my grandchildren, they are my heart. They really are my heart. But I guess the only thing in my life that I would say was hard, really hard for me, was we have 3 adopted daughters that we have not seen since, I think, 2011. Sissy, come here. Come here. You want loose? Come here. Now stay around though, okay? I'm gonna take that off of her so she'll hopefully quit barking. She'll go wander around. Oh, you know, and another thing is, like I was saying, Grandma never had a lot of money to buy things that a lot of kids would call, you know, like a lot of kids go to their grandparents and they have snacks and cookies and stuff like that. Well, my grandma and grandpa didn't have a lot of money, and so grandma was known for her biscuits, and she always had a plate of biscuits on the table. And us kids, oh my goodness, we loved her biscuits. I would love love to have written down how she did it, because she had a wooden bowl, and she would put the flour and stuff, make a little indentation there, and you know, put it all in there and mix it, and then she would squeeze it out. I mean, it was just like, I guess, watching a pro. And I wish that you know, video cameras would have been popular back then. I would have loved to have gotten that on tape. And it's, hold on, Willow, come get over here. Will, up in the neighbor's yard. It's just like with my dad. I didn't start filming for YouTube until a year after Dad had passed away. And oh my goodness, I wish I would have got him on camera and video more. I didn't have him on video at all. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to take her back in the house. She's not listening to me. And so I just wanted to say, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little hodgepodge of a video, and I hope that you've had a great day today. And you know, just think of all the things in your life that you've been blessed with, and count them all. Count them all. And if you're in a sad mood or maybe depressed or whatever, go back into your memories. Go back and think about the people that helped raise you, and the people that you took a small part of them. And you know, just count your blessings. And I guarantee you that that frown will turn into a smile. And, or how's that saying go? Turn that frown upside down. So yeah, I think it will work. So God bless you all. And again, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.